Greetings. Greetings. This session is going to be some Reiki, or this will be a brief distance Reiki session. I will also record another video to talk about the astrology of this May 1st, full moon in Scorpio. So much, it's very juicy, I keep saying. Um, And again, I've been talking about being more consistent here. So let me do my thing. Um, but first, let me pause because incense. Um, incense. Something that's been coming up for me as I get back into being more visible. Ooh, spark. Spirit is not joking about being more visible. Use this before I burn my fingers. Oh, whoop. Oh gosh. As I said, juicy, full of energy. Yeah. Um, well, I love these incense matches as well. This is Jasmine, which is the name of my cat that continues to guide me, even though she's passed on. We have such a special relationship. That's our family as well. She is most definitely still very present, still very much a part of my family. And I'm putting it in this incense stick holder that I got in Bali, that I love. Put it in the hand and put it over here so that I can continue to fill me up, fill us up. Oh, sign, Scorpio. Please don't let Scorpio burn you. Um, you should. I would welcome you back for the astrology, because that will be interesting. I will probably do that live though. It's easier to do that way rather than uploading. Okay, Reiki. What is Reiki first? Actually, I have a presentation that I could share if it's, let me see if I can find it quickly before a presentation that I did for a psychotherapist a couple of weeks ago. Um, and I've been collaborating with her. Let me do this and talk at the same time. I've been collaborating with her on a research study on social prescribing methods for Black women, originally ages 18 to 35. And now more recently, the age range was increased to 55. Um, and so that was really an opportunity for me to share about Reiki, why I do it, the impact of Reiki and why I really love it so much. Uh, and then really it's also led me to learn other modalities like somatic experiencing, which I found to be really um, validating in ways that I didn't think I would. I didn't expect at all, to be honest. Um, so yeah, let me see if I can find presentation. Reiki. Oh, this is my old presentation actually, but it will work. This is a present. Oh no, this is the one that I edited. That's great. Yes, it's the one that I was looking for. Just to give you a foundation of what Reiki is about and what it's like. Oh, this is my old. Oh no, it is wonderful. So let me share my screen and start sharing. So, my name is Sheena. I'm the visionary founder of OnePeopleTO, this amazing, beautiful space, this physical space that you see in the background. That is us. That is me over here. This was for our first anniversary in 2020. And we opened in July of 2019. And now we're going to be celebrating our seventh anniversary this coming July. A lot of the work that I do really informs my practice, um, and how I work with folks, particularly around reconditioning, rewiring, and providing non-clinical, complementary, and preventative care so that we are managing our energy, monitoring our energy, and utilizing it in the way that fuels us and supports us the best. So, what is Reiki? Reiki is a non denominational therapeutic modality that uses universal energy to direct and clear. And so, we could think of um, energy. We can go back to the third grade science of energy cannot be created or destroyed; it can only be transferred. And so sometimes we can recognize this when someone comes into a room. We can feel their presence, their energy, not just because we can see them. Maybe we don't even see them, but we can feel, oh, there's a shift here. Is there someone here? You may look behind you, and there may be someone there. Maybe someone isn't there, but you could feel energy. Sometimes, if you can feel a perceptible energy of someone entering the room before they actually do. Reiki is a Japanese modality, Japanese um, named modality. And actually, through my own research and learning and experience, what I've come to understand, which is why I call the space and sanctuary that I opened One People TO, is because one, it's located in Toronto, Ontario, but also what I've come to understand about a lot of these practices that we do in modalities is that we are using different names for the same practice, modality, approach, um, even sometimes the same creator. We Jah, Allah, God, Spirit, Source, Universe, um, and there are many representations of what energy healing represents and demonstrates in across cultures across the globe. And so this is why, well, also there's the my background again is Jamaican, and so the Jamaican motto is out of one, many people, meaning that um, we may look different or present different, or actually be different, but we are one people. And in reference to that, Reiki in Japanese culture is the same modality as a laying on of hands in the Afrocentric and African diaspora cultures as well. So, and I'm sure across other cultures, there are practices that are similar to Reiki and or laying on of hands, where energy is transferred for healing purposes and recovery. Reiki can be facilitated in person or online via distance. I'll tell you a little story about that shortly. And it can be facilitated in person, of course, again, via light touch, or no pressure at all. And again, passed down lineage wise, taught from person to person. This is not where you go to a large organization, or usually it's not. You learn from someone, it's not. That that's generally the tradition. So essentially, Reiki is an energy transference modality. So this is a representation of what energy transference can look like. Have you ever had this happen to you? It's a tough world. There's a highly sensitive being. And so you can interact. This person can be negative or angry or have something going on and project that onto you or into you. Your energy kind of gets blasted back, and then you absorb what they have, or maybe they're dumping on you. Maybe it's not even negative or against you, but they're um, releasing their energy onto you, and then you're left with what they had, and they walk away kind of shining and bright. I'm sure we've all had this experience at some point. So why Reiki? Anyone can use it. It's non-denominational. There are cumulative effects similar to massage or acupuncture, which include increased presence, mindfulness essentially, less stress, automatic mindfulness, and induced meditation, I like to say. So this is great for folks that have a hard time with traditional meditation, just sitting and or transcendental meditation, either because they fall asleep or it's hard to stay focused on what's happening in their mind and not getting distracted. It's a complementary medicine, as I mentioned earlier, and it works in conjunction with other therapies, including medication. Reiki also helps to reveal your path. Something that I haven't spoken enough about that I'm feeling the call to speak more about is that Reiki helps you to become more of who you are, um, and not just become, to embody the work of what you do and who you come here to be in this lifetime. So if you've come here to be an artist, if you've come here to be a performer, if you've come here to be an author, a speaker, um, a a powerhouse professional of some level, a politician, someone who works in policy, someone who works with children, and for some reason there may be a energetic block or um, a psychic or spiritual limitation that you're confronting. Reiki can really help you to untangle and step forward courageously into who you are meant to be and who you are have always been, and who you're meant to show to the world. So how does a Reiki session work? In person Reiki sessions have you lying either on a massage table, fully clothed, and oftentimes there's a blanket over you because your temperature will drop a couple of degrees because you go into a meditative state. Online sessions are easy. We'll do a brief session here. You'll just get comfortable in your chair and prepare to relax. In both cases, a practitioner will intend the best outcome for the client and begin to sense and clear the space prior to the beginning of the session. Hence me cementing up the space with some incense. using intuition, various symbols, hand positions. Energy is then transferred from the ethereal plane and the universe. And I, or the practitioner, acts as a conduit, and the client receives an energy boost. Usually feels very peaceful. Sometimes it can feel energizing, depending maybe on what the client needs and also the practitioner that they're working with. How I came to Reiki. I was at the max dose of medication in my 20s. I had been seeing therapists for over 10 years and still felt like there was something missing for um, a Black person, Black woman, queer person as well. Um, I definitely felt like spiritually, talk therapy was only accessing my cerebral space and not getting deep enough on a somatic, psychosomatic, emotional, spiritual, soul level to understand the circumstances that I found myself in, what I was needing to do to believe in myself, and what I've come here to do ultimately. So truly, it was out of desperation that I sought out Reiki. I went on the Canadian Reiki Association website and found someone that evening, January 15th, 2008, 6:30 p.m. And I went to Teresa Thomas. The session was amazing, incredible. I laughed, I cried, I sat up on the table. I remember thinking like, oh, this is weird. It's like Pandora's box. All the stuff is coming out, but spiritual stuff because she wasn't saying anything. And it was just an incredible experience. I have nothing but good things, um, nothing but an amazing experience to say there. Uh, just really powerful. And even though it was amazing, I think like a lot of folks, maybe in financial binds or um, really learning to prioritize their mental health and well-being, I didn't go back. Not because it wasn't amazing, but maybe too, because quite frankly, out of comfort, because she wasn't Black, she wasn't a person of color, she was white. And even though she was lovely, she was really lovely. I just felt embarrassed about, and I didn't want to, because it is a spiritual thing. So I'm sure she could see or hear, or however her clairs work, her gifts work, that what I was managing or dealing with. Um, and I felt like it was powerful. I remember driving home and all of the lights were green. And I remember in the haze of the depression thinking like, oh, that's weird. Well, I didn't have to stop once. Drove like 15 minutes home and I didn't have to stop at any red light. That's weird. And for me to think that at that time, because I was in such a haze, and also too taking medication, depending on what medications you've taken, they can make you feel numb. They can allow you to go through the motions, but I wanted to do more than go through the motions. I wanted to feel my emotions, but I wanted to feel safe enough to do that. And Reiki, has been a huge, I cannot understate it, overstate it, a huge part of my journey, my mental health journey. And that's really why I learned Reiki, really for myself, and to be able to support myself in times of extreme stress or anxiety, depression, change, transformation, uncertainty. So Reiki has helped me to only, and I'll have to always look a disclaimer that, whether I teach or I'm working with a client, only you know it is right for you. But I will say by November of 2008, I went cold, and I don't recommend this to anyone, and I'm not a clinical professional, so please don't do what I did. But I went cold turkey, going from, it was over 300 milligrams of, what was I on? Wellbutrin at the time, 330. And I quit cold turkey. I just one day I was like, maybe I'll stop. I filled the prescription and I said that I'm going to see if I can do a 1 day without it. I'm not going to take the medication today. And then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. Um, and I wasn't doing Reiki regularly then. I didn't start doing Reiki or I finding my Reiki master teacher until the next year, 2009, when my sister went to a bookstore that was opening and found this woman in the self-help section that was facilitating Reiki sessions, and she got this card. And at the time, this is when people would still put their picture on their business card at times, depending on who you were. And she came and gave me this card, and I remember looking at the card, and it was a brown woman, a woman of color. And she was like, "Oh, you did that weird, you did that Reiki thing. This woman was doing that. You should check her out. She's local." And so I ended up going to her regularly, consistently, seeing so much change, transformation, improvements, empowerment. It was noticeable to other people as well. I got promoted. I went on a European trip for my 30th birthday. Um, so many things opened up. I realized I didn't have to stay where I was, in the job that I was, in the relationship that I was. Um, yeah, so many things opened up. So Reiki has really helped me to, one, learn how to self-soothe, how to self-regulate my own emotions and reactions. But it has also really empowered my relationship with my own healthcare, with traditional healthcare, with me being able to advocate for myself and my own mind and body. It's been a really powerful tool for me. So I will facilitate a brief session, um, and maybe I'll put a little bit of music on in the background. It may be challenging to hear, but that's okay. And inviting you to close your eyes or casting your gaze down, or you're welcome to watch me as well. Inviting you to take a long, deep breath in. Long, deep breath in. Holding for a count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out through the mouth, in through the nose. Holding for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out through the mouth. Last time together, long, deep breath in through the nose. Holding for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out through the mouth. Continuing to breathe at your own pace. in. Holding for 5. Long deep breath in through your nose. Holding for count to 5. Through your mouth. Last time together. Long deep breath in. Holding for a count of 7. Out. 2 moments. Be in the space of peace and easefulness. Rather than call in what it is you're seeking, see yourself there. Whether it's a country, an upcoming trip you have, plans you haven't sorted out, agreements to be ironed, clothes to be ironed, mended. See yourself preparing, unpacking. Maybe if not for a trip, maybe you're moving. You're deciding what you're keeping and taking, what you're eliminating, donating, throwing away. Feel into your excitement of these next steps. Maybe it's starting a relationship, maybe leaving one. Maybe it's starting a new job, maybe it's leaving one. Maybe it's starting a new business, maybe it's leaving one. I'll give you a minute to see yourself in that space. Walk in the front door. What does the hallway look like? Where do you put your shoes and your coat and your keys? Are you waiting in the airport lounge? Are you on your flight? Are you in your destination? Do you have multiple things planned? See the things. See the things. Now, come back here at least once a week in May, at least. Once a week. more if it feels good to be in this space, to be in your space, to be in your next chapter and era. Maybe even acknowledge the you that is there and here right now. If you can stay in this space until you shift, which you'll notice by needing to yawn or breathe or cough or remove or just your belly rumbles or you need to burp. Yeah, to be full, complete, complete. Get all the pieces in there. Look all around. See where you are. I need to go back in and complete my vision, so I'm just doing that right now. Oh, oh. Spirit's so good. We are so good for doing this work. That's why it's so important. That's such a good the water. I don't even call it tears because yeah, energy and motion. There's movement. So yeah, thank you. Well, I'm doing this with you, but if you have questions, you're welcome to send me an email here. I didn't really intend to share this on this side, but I guess it will be a One People TO post. So that's that. It was going to be on my personal, but that just confirmed everything, I suppose. Thank you so much for taking some time. I think what the confirmation that's coming through is that I will do my own thing, the astrology on my personal page and share this Reiki experience and mindfulness meditation with you. Thank you so much. Let me lower my hand. Um, any questions? I'd be happy to answer. There is going to be a Reiki level 2 coming up in May. No, sorry, not in May. Yes, in May. Is it in May? Well, I need to check. I need to check. I know there's a master teacher in September. Um, but first. All right, loves. Enjoy this May 1st Scorpio full moon Taurus season energy of commanding your valley and truth and who you are and who you're supposed to be and stepping into that and being brave, being courageous. Yeah, I love Taurus energy. Bold, unafraid. Even if they are afraid, they're still going to say the thing. So, cheers to that. Cheers to you. And cheers to us. Until the next time.